Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where we just managed to land Bill on Minmus right next to our target location, and we're now taking Jebediah home -1 solar panel. There was a slight mishap, but it's all completely fine. So let's go ahead and set our focus at this point as being on Kerbin. There we go. And sometime, ooh, that's very low. Okay, sometime around here, I think we'll do a radial retrograde burn. We've got about 452 meters per second to burn here. Actually, I am thinking about instead of a radial retrograde, because of our low amount of available propellant, I'm currently thinking about instead just doing a pure retrograde burn. This would be like surface retrograde sometime over here. Now, this would probably be too aggressive, is my guess. I mean, we could do a radial retrograde maybe like here and bring it up a little bit. Do something kind of like this, because I feel like 8 kilometers is maybe a little too low. This will be a pretty energetic re-entry that we need to consider. So something kind of along the lines of this. This should do a pretty decent job. Let's go ahead and line up for that. And let's warp to it. Excellent. So, Kerbin, here we come. There's the moon over there. You can tell that we're on a bit of an inclination, falling in at a kind of exciting angle. But we don't exactly care about this angle. We just want to get Jebediah home. So we will position for this burn, and we will do this burn here in just a few seconds. This is apparently T-9 seconds. Interesting. We have 19 seconds here, and this is saying we have an issue at 18 seconds. Sure, whatever. Let's just bring this in, and we're going to burn this at T-9 seconds. Let's warp towards that. We're definitely coming in fast here, and I want to adjust that. So let's burn this right now. We're already slowing down, which is... I mean, are we slowing down when not under thrust? We'll find that out. Okay, so we're just going to burn the whole tank here. There we go. Apparently we have 5 seconds of burn left, but we are out of fuel at this point. So let's see what our final orbit is looking like. That is a much, much better entry. We're going to go ahead and jettison that, and we are going to retract our solar panel at this point. Yeah, we've got our heat shield there. All is looking good. We're going to go to surface retrograde. And we should have absolutely no problem holding this attitude. So let's go ahead and warp at this point until we enter the atmosphere, which will be pretty soon here. There we go. Excellent. So, the question is, are we going to have to do multiple aerobraking passes? The answer is a very definite maybe. I don't actually think we will. This is pretty deep into the atmosphere. And it is dropping relatively quickly here. Okay. Well, we are still accelerating here, although now we're decelerating. That's good. This is a very energetic re-entry, for sure. Very, very energetic re-entry. Let's bring this on down. This could definitely get spicy. I'm noticing that our drogue chutes are not separate from our main. Let's go ahead and do that. That would definitely help. We are seeing some heating effects despite the heat shield. Okay. I mean, we should be okay with the ablation there. You can see here our periapsis has dropped substantially. And I believe this is our photovoltaic panels potentially burning off here. But I think they'll be okay. We are currently down to about 30 kilometers above the surface, coming down at 2 kilometers per second, and I think we're pretty safe now. This is not all that spicy. I mean, this is a very simple re-entry capsule, right? This was going to bleed speed just super fast, always. But I am glad that we added a little bit of extra space there. I think we still would have been okay at the 8 kilometers, but I did not want to risk it. So down we come, and this will be no problem whatsoever. Our heat shield did its job. Great. We are almost down under 1 kilometer per second, and there we are. We're under 1 kilometer per second. We are completely fine at this point. Absolutely no issue whatsoever. I don't know what I just saw down there. Oh, it's our shadow. Sure. We'll deploy our drogues at this point, and our main shortly after. The main is actually... It actually waited for a pressure change there for the main, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and physics warp down towards the ground. So we'll bring Jeb on home. He has completed his job, which was to fill in for Bill while Bill slept in. Wonderful. We're about 5 kilometers above the surface now. Absolutely no problem whatsoever here. Yep, we are now about 2 kilometers above the surface. 1.5. And our main will deploy now. There we go, moving us down to 6 meters per second. And we're going to continue physics warping down towards the ground. This is going to be a pretty lengthy fall here. I mean, it would be like 2 minutes, except that we're on 4x time acceleration, so it'll be substantially less than that, which is good. Because we've got other projects we want to work on this episode. Specifically, we want to start working on our landing pad on Minmus. And that will be great. So we'll go ahead and splash Jeb on down here. Wonderful. And we'll recover that. So with Jeb safely home, we will head on over to Minmus just as soon as we can. One of these days. One of these days it will load. Fantastic. We actually got 20 science out of that. Sure. We could probably research something here. And indeed we could. Ion propulsion? That would be funny. Automation? I'm not too interested in that right now. A monopropellant APU. What exactly is this? An APU turbine. It inputs monopropellant and outputs electric charge. Interesting. That is definitely an interesting little thing there. I would love experimental science, but that's just holding tanks and the narrowband scanner. Okay. Maybe we should grab the external command seat, just to be on the safe side. We'll grab that, and I think we'll also grab heavy landing for now. The 10-meter heat shield is actually going to be important for us for going to Eve, so we'll go ahead and take that. Okay, so now we need to work on our Minmus spaceport before we can really continue work on our Eve projects, which are currently coming up pretty soon. Like, we're getting close to finishing our Minmus project here, and that is wonderful. We are currently flying. Let's not do that. Fantastic. So, Bill is planned to remain here. We're going to go ahead and extend these ladders. Technically, Bill could get home with this, but that's fine. We're going to extend this ladder as well. Wonderful. And it looks like the pad is planned to be out this direction. So that is fine. We will have Bill go ahead and EVA here. He'll let go. I don't know what he's standing on. Okay, Bill just decided he doesn't like gravity anymore. So we are going to go ahead and move him down here. Perfect. And sure. Let's not do that, Bill. You can come on back and grab the ladder. Thanks. Okay, so we need to find a place to store his equipment here, and I think something like here would probably be decent. So we'll store his jetpack and his parachute here for now. Excellent. And now the question is, what exactly is our manipulation range here if we go into this mode? There's a lot of cargo storage units here. So if we go into this mode here, we can see those are strut connectors up there. We could put it down here, but we're not quite close enough to get it much further than this. Okay, so our manipulation range is not the greatest I've ever seen, and I don't believe we can carry this. Okay, so we're going to climb on down here. I can't help but notice this doesn't go all the way. Well, that's a potential issue. To be sure. That's okay. Bill can make up the difference through jumping. He'll be okay. So we can see here that we are losing access to some of these as we get further and further away. And once we reach the ground here, we do not have access to any of them. Okay. So I think that means that we actually need to get a little closer here. Or we do need to bring up the arm still. We could bring up the arm and a little rover for Bill to use to transport stuff. That is a potential possibility. At this point, if we were to exit this mode, would we be able to get this thing to balance straight up? I would think we would be able to. Now, we could get Bill inside of this, no problem. If I can get him lined up here. And that was underneath the underneath the engine. Not ideal. Not ideal. But one thing we can definitely do is we can come up here. Bill, please don't plume it. Thank you. I don't know how that physics worked, but we'll accept it. One thing we could do is we can always move these ladders around, right? So we could move this ladder to be down here. If I can figure out how it's rotating. I believe this is the correct direction. So down something like this. I do want it to snap right now. Yes, like that. Okay, so that will allow us to move around. Fantastic. So with that, we can then say move one of these struts down over... Whoa, down over here. There's definitely some physics going on here, but we can just unload these parts over here and drop them down to the ground. Like that. Okay, now we'll head down to the ground. Wonderful. This is potentially going to be a pretty tedious thing. I might do some of this off camera, but we'll just go ahead and drop this on down. Maybe even make a time lapse of it. That could be exciting. Okay, so we're going to move on over here. And we can now pick this part up and we can move it over here, see? So this could theoretically work. It's slow. Very, very slow. We can actually just pick it up and move it with us. Huh. That's interesting. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that, and our goal for right now, of course, would be to come over here. There's no way I'm going to physics warp under these circumstances. At least not without a solid quick save first. This is going to be a pretty tedious process, I feel like. So if we were to attach this here, we should definitely quick save. Because of that physics bump that we saw previously. So if we were to attach this here, like that, that works. I would definitely like there to be a way to get this over a little quicker. We landed very close, and I feel like taking off and trying to get a little closer with this little margin is going to be kind of difficult. Can we pick this up yet? No. But we can't set that as our target. We don't need this open, technically. That's still our target. There we go. So, yeah. Well, now we can't actually move him. Now we can. You know what? I think this is a bug because we were able to grab it while we were falling there, and that didn't input lock us. I feel like we're not supposed to be able to do this. I also feel like if we're able to do this, then we can actually bring our jetpack, which will make this much, much easier. So we can place this over here. Our max part mass over here is 1.2 tons. Okay, so we would want to attach this guy over here. Now, we'd want to not have it be rotated like this, for sure. Can we, like, reset the rotation of it? That'd be nice if we could. We could do something like that, and then take it off of there and do that. That could work, I suppose. Theoretically possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to exit construction mode for right now. And we're going to head on back, and we're going to go grab the jetpack, because that will definitely help tremendously, since I'm pretty sure we can use it. Cannot quick save while about to crash. Fair enough. There, we'll quick save now. Excellent. So this is definitely going to be a lengthy construction process, I think, even with the jetpack, just because we're a little ways away, but it will definitely go a whole lot faster. So let's go ahead and grab this. That was a little higher than I was expecting him to jump. That was a good jump. That's a really good jump. Okay, so he's not going to be able to grab the ladder from here, and I don't really know why I did that. When we could have just walked up and grabbed it. I guess I was trying to grab it slightly higher up and save some time, but it's okay. So we will grab this, and up we go. And we're just going to grab that jetpack, which I believe we had stowed in one of these guys over here. It was this one. Okay, so we'll pin that open temporarily, and we will pin open Bill. And we should, in theory, be able to do that. Hello, pause menu. Let go, and down we go. And we should be able to fly over here without any real issues. So we then go back into construction mode. The question is, do we have RCS here? We do. However, WASDA is actually rotating the thing. That's going to make things very interesting. Very, very interesting. I wonder if I can rebind that. Because, yeah, that essentially means we have to get moving and then grab it. So we'd have to lift off and grab it like this, but we would need to already be moving, right? So I feel like we're definitely not supposed to be able to do it this way. Especially since... Hang on, I just thought of something. Why was I able to WASDA earlier when in this mode, but not now? Let's get... That went way over there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to make sure our RCS is off right now. I'm going to need to experiment with this a little bit. This is definitely going to be a laborious process. I think there's no way around that one at this point. Yeah, we have no max part mass while flying, apparently. Okay, so at this point, we can continue forward and we can turn. We cannot turn RCS on. Okay, that's definitely pretty spicy. There's no doubt about that. I wonder if we can change the key bindings. That would be pretty convenient. Just being able to move around a little faster. I'm not concerned about realism in this situation. I'm more concerned about things being, you know, entertaining to use. And currently, I would have to argue that this is not the most entertaining I've ever seen. Okay, let's just rotate that like so to attach it on. That rotation is very awkward indeed. Very awkward indeed. Actually, we just want it to snap in like that. Okay, so we're able to weld that, no problem. I wonder if we can make this a whole lot more efficient. Let's go ahead and fire up our RCS and head on over. And I want to maybe start disassembling this. Rather than unloading it, what if we could move, because we have a max part mass of unlimited when we are in flight like this, what if we were able to grab these parts and move the entire container? That might not be a terrible concept. So let's just go ahead and slow this on down. Now the question is, how would we go about disassembling this? I think the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to hop over into the pad builder. And we're going to attempt a retraction here of all of these legs. No, not these. These legs as well. Okay. So that lets us rest on the engines, like so. So now Bill is our focus. And we can detach this leg, sure. We can also detach this leg. We can detach this strut. And we can detach this. We don't currently appear to be able to detach this fuel tank. However, here's the idea. If we get this to no limit like that, we still don't seem to be able to detach this tank. Yeah, can't detach that to part attachments. Obviously. Okay. Yeah, so we don't seem to be able to actually detach this tank. We might be able to if we had additional Kerbals assisting, I suppose. So if we're in freefall, that definitely says the max part mass is no limit. But we're definitely unable to grab this tank. Is this tank empty? Hang on. Let's check if the tank is empty. The tank is not empty. So what if we were to move the liquid fuel from this tank out? Would that adjust the mass to such a degree that we were able to remove this? That's the question here. Okay, let's see. So we're not able to do it right now. It's 1.2 tons. But what if we're in freefall? Okay, we're still not able to actually do it. Sad. So the next question becomes, what happens if we just decouple these? That's a question, isn't it? Let's find out. That may be what we need to do here. So let's move into this here. And we want to decouple these. This will lose us the fuel in these tanks. I don't think we care. We're full on this tank. So that just drops that to the ground, like so, and means that we should be able to get at this from the top down now. So let's move back to Bill. Again, this is all experimental. I haven't worked with this system before, so you'll have to bear with me while I figure out the best ways to do this. We're going to just... That's not landed, Bill. We're going to land up here. There we go. And we're going to enter manipulation mode. Cannot detach the radial decoupler due to part attachments. It should be right at the edge, though. Maybe if we were able to, like, push this thing over? Like this? Yeah, go on. Get out of here. It's tipping. Is it coming back? I think it's just chilling there. Yeah, get over. Just trying to shove it over here. Okay. So that's the concept. Maybe now we can work with this. That would be nice. You impacted at a slightly higher velocity than I was hoping for you to, Bill. Let's just head on back. Thank you. Okay. Let's give this another go. I really want to figure out a way that we can make this much faster, because moving these parts individually is going to take forever. Cannot detach it due to part attachments. Bill, can you get up, please? Thanks. What part attachments are we talking about? The strut? No. Is it due to... It's this up here, I guess. Can we do anything about that? If we land here, we should, in theory, be able to manipulate this, right? No, we definitely can't. Huh. I mean, we could just roll this entire structure over there, I suppose. It would be awkward, for sure. And we need to keep an eye on Bill's EVA propellant as well. So if we were to turn that off, hypothetically, I mean, we can make it work. I'm not going to claim that I'm happy about it. I would really think that we'd be able to manipulate this, though. I really, really would. And then this is where I'm questioning whether this is really going to work or not. It looks like it is. I mean, this is certainly not the most realistic thing I've ever seen, but we'll just roll it on over. Okay, we'll turn our RCS on now and see how far it rolls without any assistance. We're going to go over to this side to be able to stop it if necessary. Is it just rolling on its own? I think it's slowing down. Yeah, it's definitely slowing down. Okay. So we're going to come in over here then. That came in a little fast. Bill will be fine. He just wanted to do a somersault. Okay. So we're going to come in over here. And we're going to continue pushing this on in. I think this will definitely be faster, considering we only have to do this a couple of times. And then hopefully the center core will be able to actually detach the parts from. So we'll get that on over, and I don't think we need to worry too much about any actual issues here. This is definitely a creative solution to the problem. I'm moving over to this side because I want to get it to turn that way a little bit. I don't know if we have the torque to do that, really. But we've definitely got a lot of parts over quite a long ways here. So this is actually a reasonably effective way to do things. Kind of shockingly so. So we'll just let that go for now. And is that close enough? It may well be. I guess that's a good argument for having that on a decoupler, huh? So we'll just come around over here. And it looks like we are coming to a reasonable stop here. I like it. It's possible... Oh, we're rolling back. I don't like that. Okay, I think we're settling now. Yeah, now we're settling. Okay. So we can see here that we have access to one single storage unit. And we can put that snapped in over here. I want it to snap in. Do we have to mount it here first to get the right rotation? Apparently so. I'm not sure how much I actually like that. The question is, how far do we actually want this to be? And that is indeed a good question. We may have to move this down as well. And if so, we want to figure out that we need to do that, like, now. So let's go ahead and put this in here. And it looks like we are indeed going to have to move this down. So I would like to snap this in. Not there. Not there either. I mean, that's a terrible spot for it. That's also a terrible spot for it. I'd love to snap it in with the correct rotation, but I guess this is fine. This is fine. So we now know that we do indeed need this to be a little bit lower, and that is fine. We'll just move these off of here for now. This is definitely way faster to manipulate. Okay, so we'll place these over here like so. And I will place this one simply here, and this one here. Okay, so we now know that this actually needs to be a little bit lower. That's fine. We'll move it down just a tiny bit. Ooh, that guy's going. I don't know where he's going. I have no idea where it went. I see its shadow. We may have to go get that modular girder segment. A bit of a physics bug there. I was warned that these can happen, and that is why I'm quick saving very frequently while doing this. So we're going to do something along the lines of this, 3, and then we will do a 4th one right here. That's not exactly snapped in. I would like to get that snapped in. We don't need to have that open. I'd like to get that snapped in there. Okay, there we go. And then we will just see about getting this guy in over here. This is definitely way, way faster. Okay. Hi. I don't know where the other one went. It came back. But I think we may have lost one there when it impacted our head. That was pretty exciting. We exited the build mode there. Okay. And then we just place that there, like that. Now, I would like to rotate it, and we, in fact, will definitely do that. Something along the lines of this. Okay. Yeah, that'll do. I'm pretty sure we lost a girder segment, but that's fine. We have some spares, in theory. So yeah, that is a reasonable start, and we have definitely learned that this is going to be an interesting process. However, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we may or may not have made some off-camera progress. We'll see. You can leave your offerings to an engagement god, apparently, in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.